I'm reviewing AB Original's album, Reclaim Australia.
Fuck that, homie. You can call it what you want, but it just don't mean a thing. No, it just don't mean a thing.
We're told all the time now, including from those who don't like a speech about inclusion from the stage of a Broadway musical, that there are appropriate ways to protest. Politely, neatly. Go home afterwards and put MasterChef on. Otherwise you may upset people, make them worried about access to the shops, cause some discomfort to the comfortable. Don't be angry, be conciliatory. Don't be wild, be mild. Don't swear, share. To this, AB Original, the pairing of Yorta Yorta Man Briggs and Najinderi Man Trials, say unequivocally, fuck that for Gamma soldiers. To which you could add, fuck the police, fuck the 18C warriors, fuck the Hansonites and Bernardiites, the Hancock Reinhardts and IPA Boltites, and fuck you if you think this is too much. Yes, Reclaim Australia is an album of anger, focused anger and unashamed anger. The kind of strong feeling that takes not just the intense, almost overwhelming sound of 1980s West Coast hip-hop, but the driven, socially grounded tone and language of that protest which was wrongly cast as gangster rap. This is an approach that says to those who like to have a conversation with Australia, when they mean ventilate the outrageous, that talk is fine but responses will follow, and not everyone plays the polite game in response. Trials, who as a producer has worked the more pop end of local hip-hop with artists such as Illy and Hilltop Hoods, and Briggs, aren't afraid to bring hooks and tunes. To that end, guest vocalists such as Katie Baker, Dan Sultan, Thelma Plum and Gurumul work the line between sweetening and enhancing smartly. Whatever else, you can't dismiss this as just grumpy blokes shouting at you. But Reclaim Australia is no pop record. Report the Mist is a thick-skinned tonic, a head ram to the chest with a nerve-pressing claustrophobic sound that rarely changes and never lets you free. The Feast, with guest voice from King T, has a lope like a jacked-up car taking a cruise down a country town's main street, but there's menace in every step. If it's true, as Briggs and Trials say, that they want to put us all back in the pig pen, not everyone is going to let that happen quietly. And if you don't like that, well, too fucking bad.
And I'm just receiving word we've used up all of our swear words for this episode, so try to keep it clean for the rest, please. But what an album! Man, it's good.
That's powerful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the fact that they've called it Reclaim Australia, you know, because they're essentially reclaiming the term, and I think that's awesome. I think that says a lot about what they're trying to say.
You probably can figure this out from looking at me, but I actually love gangster rap, early to mid-90s gangster rap, and I think this album fits in, is a really good representation of that genre. But lyrically, it's fearsome, and rightfully so, and I think it's going to start some conversations. I mean, there's a song, Call 'Em Out, which they just rely on a sample of Lang Hancock saying that, I think putting forward his notion that Aborigines should be sterilised, and that would, I guess, end that race. And this is only in the 80s that someone was actually saying that, and it's very confronting and stunning to think that it was actually said. And I think this album is full of moments like that where it really makes you sit up and think.
It is so unashamedly full on, and they want to be confrontational, and they want people to get angry, I guess, whether or not they're on their side or not. But I really have been getting into the music since I first heard the first few songs, and now the whole album. There's some slick playing, and like real Dr. Dre style, that like keyboard stuff.
There's nothing fancy about it, but it's dense without feeling like you're thickened with every possible sound.
Because a lot of hip hop's got so sample heavy, and it's got beats and then samples. This, doesn't have besides Lang, doesn't have too many samples at all. It just lets them ride it.
I think we've all enjoyed this record.
Well, I'm going to give it 4 stars.
They said, hey, Briggs, pick a day. Okay. You know what? We can celebrate. For sure. But we can come together, talk about the weather, call that Australia Day.